Here we are. Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, our state, our country. We take a look at your comments and your questions, and we try to piece everything together so we can have a comfortable, wonderful life, well-connected life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. It is always a pleasure to get together with you, and today, this very 10th of March, is no exception. Today, we are going to cover interesting news. We are going to say hello to friends that are new. If you let us know, and you can let us know that you're new to the broadcast by writing the word new in your comment. And if you have something truly awesome and important to share and you don't want us to miss it, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. I should mention that a couple of you have been perceptive enough to comment that it looks a little more spacious behind me. I did some changes in furniture here in the space that we have. And let's see. And of course, what I'm trying to say is I'm further away from the opposite wall, and that's why you can see more things behind me. And sometime in the near future, I'm going to show you a photograph of the new setup or what is exactly going on. Karen asks, do you have a new necklace? No, this is an old necklace. It's something I made a while ago. It's a purple arrow pointing down. It's pointing down at my tummy or my junk, whichever you're more interested in. That's my, it's nothing fancy. It's just me trying different stitches. But, you know, I hadn't worn a necklace on the broadcast in a long time. I figured, you know, I made them for something. I actually learned how to make something with crochet yesterday that I'm really excited about, but I can't talk about it because I'm going to surprise a dear friend with one in the near future. So I don't want to spoil the surprise. So I think we are good to go. And let's see, before I get into your comments, I just want to acknowledge one more because it just caught my attention. Charles is with his friend Amber and is introducing her to the cluster. So we'd better be in our best behavior not. Let's take a look at the news. So yesterday afternoon, I was having a good day. I was making my frijoles rancheros when a friend of mine forwarded me a headline that said that a fire had been started by Vidanta in Boca de Tomates. And this turned out to be not exactly true. A fire did scorch the sky yesterday afternoon in what seemed to be Boca de Tomates. And many of the commenting people on the headline were quick to blame Vidanta for trying to take over the beloved protected area. What happened, though, is that one of Vidanta's warehouses did catch fire. A fire started within one of the bodegas. This, of course, is an unfortunate incident, but nothing seems to indicate, as far as we know, that Vidanta was deliberately burning down the area. There is no more information about this. But if you were out and about, you could probably see the fire from far away, or see this cloud of smoke. And I think this fire is now under control, but we still don't have any details as to the damages or what started it. Another fire did have disastrous effects on our flora and fauna. This one happened within the protected area of the El Salado estuary, and it affected a considerable area of foliage. And because there are no actual roads to get there, it was very difficult to control. Members of the local firefighters department continued attempting to put out the fire until the early hours of this morning, as can be attested in some of these photographs of the firefighters working through the night to put this off. And to better appreciate the scope of this, let me show you the map. So here is the El Salado estuary. And as you can see, we're talking about a considerable area without any roads. This is right next to Avenida Francisco Medina Asensio. Just as some reference, there's Walmart, and there's Sam's, and so forth and so on. And this is the estuary. Now, we don't really see the impact of this until we turn on the satellite view of the same place. And as you can see, this is all this is all foliage. This is all foliage. And of course, it hasn't rained. So all this vegetation is probably really, really dry. So this is why it has been difficult to contain this fire. And this is, of course, a sad bit of news, because there's a lot of flora and fauna that make that area their home. That's where a lot of the crocodiles are escaping from. And again, hopefully the fire has been contained and controlled. I also want to let you know that Tribuna de la Bahía, one of our local newspapers, has received reports of a group of homeless people that have set up camp in Fluvial, not far from Francisco Villa Avenue, next to the Iste Hospital, across from Macro Plaza. And of course, homeless people, nobody wants them there, but it is a complicated issue, whether it is homeless people or beggars or people that attempt to make a living by juggling at major intersections, or simply by stretching out their hands in hope for a few coins. These are complicated things that happen at any metropolitan area, and Puerto Vallarta is certainly not an exception. So hopefully the authorities will intervene in the most humane possible way and find alternatives for these individuals that are clearly not where they're supposed to be. Now, let us quickly turn over to the weather just to see what we can expect for the remainder of the week. Snarky Weather says, I am responsible for the record high gas prices. Sorry, not sorry. Well, if you've been watching international news, you have been watching news about record high gas prices, I'm sure. It is 24 degrees right now, feels like 25. Humidity is at a low 44%. And for those of you that enjoy your Fahrenheit degrees, you can have 75 of them at present time. Our weather forecast for today, it's going to be a clear day with a high temperature of 27, low temperature of 15. That's cool. That's nice. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll wrap the work week with a clear day and a high temperature of 27, low temperature of 14. And Saturday, we begin the weekend with a clear day, a high temperature of 30, a low temperature of 15, and awesome news that I have to share with you, but I'm going to wait a little longer to do so. Something wonderful is going to happen this Saturday, and I am so giddy, I can't stand it. But before we go there, let me tell you about. Oh, I need to do some housekeeping. This is important, um, because I don't want you to take certain things personally. Something weird is happening with Facebook, and you may or may not have noticed that some. And in fact, you may have an answer to this. Maybe you're doing this yourself. But usually, after each broadcast, sometime in the afternoon, I go in and read through the comments that you kindly share with us on every broadcast, and I interact as much as I can, and I take a look at where you're at or whether there's interesting ideas or suggestions that come forth from you. But the only instance in which I will hide one of your comments deliberately is when somebody comes in and spams. Actually, there are two instances in which we hide comments. Number one, if somebody is spamming, like somebody we don't even know that comes in to tell you of wonderful remedies to get rid of your warts or whatever, we not only hide those comments, but we also block the people. We also hide comments when you, with your wonderful enthusiasm, share bookmarks or websites to things that you're trying to promote. We appreciate that and we appreciate your enthusiasm, but as you know, we try to monitor what gets promoted and not promoted. And the reason we hide those comments is because we don't want everybody all of a sudden just contributing their Facebook event or their special offer or this, that, and the other. I think we have enjoyed a comfortable advertiser-free environment here, and we continue to want that unless you want it differently. Why am I mentioning this? It is because about a week ago, Facebook started randomly hiding comments from our wall, and I don't seem to find a rhyme or a reason to why I go and look at your comments after the broadcast, and some of them are hidden. So trust me, I've spent a fair amount of time on hiding messages. And for all I know, you may not have even noticed this is happening. But if you have been making a comment and then you go back and look at your comment and you see that it's not there, it's not something that we have deliberately done, that I have deliberately done. Again, the only instances in which we will hide comments is A, if they are spam coming from a total stranger, or B, when something has been promoted without checking in with me first. If you have something to promote, just drop me a line and we'll find a way to do it so that it doesn't seem like an advertisement. If there's a good story to share, we're always happy to share a good story. Speaking of good stories, I'm going to continue now. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to sneeze or whether I can continue. I think we can continue. Speaking of good stories, the government of Puerto Vallarta has built and inaugurated a new skate park along the Pitillal Riverside Walkway. The inauguration took place this past Sunday, and unfortunately I missed it because it would have been a lot of fun to capture families and young adults enjoying the facility, but I am sure there will be other opportunities. I think it is awesome that this new addition has been added to the walking park. I know that the skating group had submitted a proposal to do something along the Malecon, and I suppose that didn't fly, but it is good to see that the city gave skaters a safe place where they can learn the craft and have fun with other friends. The Carnival cruise line celebrated 50 years of making stops in Puerto Vallarta with the arrival of the Carnival Panorama yesterday. It is worth mentioning that Carnival began operations with one vessel in Miami in 1972, and since then has become one of the most popular cruise lines in the world, with 24 vessels that welcomes over 6 million guests per year and employ over 40,000 individuals from 120 different countries. Congratulations are due. I forgot to write comments for this one. This one I saw on Huffington Post and just got my attention. Why some people still have gotten COVID. And I'm sure this is not a scientific article, but I figured, well, why are we not getting COVID? Well, Reason number one, because vaccines masking and distancing works. I can subscribe to that. Reason number two, because you've remained totally isolated. Well, I know that I haven't been totally isolated, but I've taken very good care of myself. Reason number three, because you did actually have it, you just didn't know. And sometimes I wonder if I had COVID and I didn't even notice it. Reason number four, because household transmission is not a given. Again, I don't think this article is the ultimate authority, so I'm not going to agree or disagree with that. And reason number five, because of luck. Well, if any of those is correct, I consider myself to be very lucky, and I hope that continues to be the case. Moving right along, Puerto Vallarta will welcome a series of sporting events in the near future, according to this headline by Tribuna de la Bahía. There's the Vallarta Race, which is a sailing event. It's a regatta that sails from San Diego and arrives in our bay, and it has been taking place since 1953. It takes several days, obviously, to do the route. This year, it is expected to take place between March 10 and March 18. Then there's also Ruta Turística, which is a cycling event that is coming up on April 3rd with 3 different routes, 21, 72, and 100 kilometers long. And then there's the International Puerto Vallarta Marathon to take place on April 3rd. So if you enjoy your sports, or you enjoy being around people that enjoy their sports, or do you enjoy taking photographs, you can certainly look forward to these events. Now, we have mentioned the expression cosita recently here at Coffee and Headlines as something that we use in Spanish to refer to either really endearing things like a little newborn baby kitten, or situations in which you want to roll your eyes and just say seriously. So I found a Cosita headline today. This one is published by Vallarta Opina. The headline says, real estate excesses have seriously damaged the romantic zone. And to that, I say, you think? And to that, I say, ay, cosita. Of course, we know that real estate excess has seriously damaged the romantic zone, but they seemed compelled to write about it. Why? Well, maybe because it's true. Now I'm going to cough. Hold on. I'm also continuing to follow up on the whole soccer field situation in Querétaro, just to see where that rabbit hole takes us. And now we get a sense as to some of the fines that were applied by the Mexican Football League to the soccer team in Querétaro, the home team where the whole violent incident took place. And here is some of the sanctions that have been applied or will apply to the Querétaro Roosters. That's the name of the team. Number one, the team, even though the game was canceled, the team lost the game, or the officials are considering it as a lost game. The team is expected to play for 1 year behind closed doors, no public, no audience present when they are the local team. The female category and the youth category of the team will play all their games with closed doors. The team will receive a fine of 1.5 million pesos. And the directors of the team have been inhabilitados. They have been removed from being able to do anything for 5 years, and the team must be sold to other owners. And of course, the cheerleading team, the cheerleading group for the team is banned for 3 years whenever the team is playing elsewhere. So there's been a serious punishment to the team, the house team, after everything happened. The governor of Puebla wants to adopt the team, says, well, we want you to come over to Puebla and become a team for our state. We'll gladly give you a new home, which would apparently exempt them from some of these fines. Meanwhile, the governor of Querétaro is both saying we will apply all the punishments to the full extent of the law, but at the same time says that Querétaro will do everything possible to hold on to the team in the state of Querétaro. So this shows me how complicated it is to be the owner of a soccer team in Mexico, and how it involves a lot of money and a lot of interest come into play when something like this happens. I also want to let you know that yesterday I asked you a number of questions about um, when we're just walking in one single place as opposed to doing a full walking tour, walking through several blocks at a time. And the reason why we wanted to do that is because obviously we will continue to walk around the city. We enjoy walking around the city, but that would be a walking tour in our view. Moving forward, if we visit a specific place, like a specific store or a specific location, we're going to call those walkarounds. So yesterday we had a walkaround at Food Park PV, and we look forward to other walkarounds. If you have an interesting place that we should be walking around so that other people can get to know it, please let me know. This is something new that we want to do. And again, we want to build a separate playlist of walking tours and walkarounds. Why? I say, why not? And last but not least, before we dive into your comments for today, I want to give you good news. Saturday, that's what I was talking about earlier. I'm just thrilled to announce that on Saturday, I'm finally getting together with Gina of Whisky Kitchen. Her venue is ready enough for us to do a walk around. So we will meet on Saturday afternoon, and we will take a look at what we can expect from the new location, which is right around the corner from our house. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to let you know what's coming. And of course, Gina and I will sit down and think of an awesome way in which our cluster can go and visit and have a special time at the place, either before they open to the public or for a special evening. We'll see how that develops. And now, as always, I turn over to your wonderful comments just to see what everybody's up to. I see a lot of good mornings, as always, and I am always grateful for those. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. You are everywhere. You are here, you are far, but you are close, at least during the 30 minutes that we enjoy. Dan just finished Zoom Tai Chi class. That sounds sexy. I love it. Alan, who has been patiently counting days. I remember when you had days to go in the 30s, and now you only have 2 days to arrive in Puerto Vallarta. I'm excited, but more than anything else, Alan, I am grateful that you're always here. You're spending time with us here at the cluster, and that means a lot to me. I could say the same thing about each and every one of you who tune in on a regular basis. Very much appreciated. Linda is reporting with her Luna. She has a Luna, and so do I. I love that. Here's another counter. This time next week, I will be yet again in sunny and warm PV. That is amazing. Interesting. Good day from Kitchener. I don't even know if that is a store or a town, but I'm intrigued. Is that Kitchener or Kitchener? I don't even know. But good day back to you, Charlotte. I don't know where that is, but I'm certainly going to look for it on the map in case it's a town I'm not familiar with. Let's see. Javier is a new person. Everybody say hello to Javier. New and happy to be here. We are happy to have you. Where's the applause? There it is. Awesome. Andrew, I'm new to this show. I'm just spending a few weeks here working to try and get my toes in the water and maybe relocate to PV. That is awesome. Forgive me if I didn't say your name properly. Andrew, I don't know where the accent goes, but if you have any specific questions about what life is like being an English-speaking local, you've come to the right place. Um, let's see what else we have. Ba-ba-da-ba-bee-ba-bum. Dun 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 dun. On Tuesday, we went to Lorenas restaurant in Colonial. Valentin Gomez Farias had their Tuesday special, chiles en nogada. Lorena, that sounds familiar, but I can't say that I've been there. Thank you for the pointer, Doug. Every time you mention places that I'm not familiar with, I become curious. And see, that's what I do. When I look through your comments after the broadcast, I go back and collect all these nuggets of information, and I add them to my list of things to explore. And that's how I have discovered that all these messages are becoming hidden on their own, which is really bizarre. Michael confirms it was a bodega that caught fire at Vidanta. Thank you very much for that. I don't know what nimby means. The homeless need to be living somewhere. Yes, the homeless need to be addressed as a sociological problem. Again, that happens in every city. Puerto Vallarta is certainly not special in that regard. I don't know what NIMBY means. I am curious. I will add it to my list of things to research. Morning, happy jueves. Found out an 11-story building will be built soon. One building over from us in Conchas Chinas. Sad. Yes, that is sad, Kathleen, unless it's legal. If somehow the permits are there and this abides by the zoning laws, then it is what it is. But when I hear about these buildings that are being built, and we have been reporting of all these places that have received questionable licenses, one cannot help but to wonder. USA citizens are crossing border to fuel up on Pemex. I want to do the same, but live too far away, so it would not benefit me. Interesting. Again, I've been reading about the oil prices, and it is an issue. I have found that comments don't show up, and today I was unable to like or reply to 2 different people, the new ones. Again, Christy, thank you for bringing that up. And once again, I want to make sure that you know that it is some kind of weird behavior that Facebook seems to be having. I cannot understand why. That said, I haven't sent a letter to Facebook support, or I haven't Googled this situation anywhere, but I'll definitely do that. Still, I felt the responsibility to let you know this is happening so that you would be on the same page as I am. I've never liked computer spam or spam in a can. I've never liked spam, but Liv Ham said Sam. Fair enough. I like the poetry. That reminds me of Dr. Seuss. I have to say that I have eaten spam in a can at least once. And every now and then I walk down the aisles on the supermarket and I'm like, I better buy one of those things just to remember why I like it or why I don't like it. But that's just me. Let's see. When I've tried to like some comments during the show, Facebook tells me that the comment no longer exists. Again, I'm glad we're talking about this, because this is something that that we're going to look into it. We're going to look into. Let's see. We also can no longer see if anybody likes my comments anymore. They just don't show up the way they used to. Then I will let you know that I remember unhiding at least one of your comments. And again, I cannot understand why certain comments would be hidden, and by how or by whom or why. But again, I have been spending a fair amount of time unhiding comments. I will continue to do that just because every single comment is important. Matthew has an awesome question. Mateo has an awesome question. Will the skate park coexist with that craft market that they sometimes have along the Pitillal River, or is it in a different place? I am happy to report that it is happening in exactly the same place. So I haven't heard from the monthly market that sets up shop at the Pitillal Park in a while. But yes, it happens exactly at the same place. So imagine just how fun the environment will be or must be when all these things are happening at the same time. Ryan is of my party. I haven't knowingly had COVID. I've been lucky. I would like to add to that, Ryan. You're probably being careful. I hope it is that you've been careful, not that you've been lucky. I know that I've been careful. But then again, I know that friends of mine that have been as careful or more careful than me have gotten COVID. So it is one of those things. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Oh dear. Christy says, now I cannot even comment on Den's comment. What the fuck? What the fuck? Where is our parrot? Now, this doesn't merit the parrot. But please know that I'm going to look into this. I am going to look into this. Oh, interesting. You're all having all kinds of commenting glitches. That makes me feel bad, but it makes me feel good that I brought it up. Mateo gets musical on me. Speaking of football, it appears that the Puerto Vallarta Tritones are having a very good winning season. Yes, they are. Paco, note the musical reference in Tritones, also known as augmented force. That is correct. In Spanish, in English, a tritone is an augmented four. It's a musical interval, and we could talk about tritones forever because it is a fascinating characteristic of music, but we're not going to go there today. Let's see. Special evening at Whisky Kitchen. Brilliant and yummy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The other Luna says hello. Not to overwork you, but will there be more Friday Colonial walks in our future? I'm not feeling overworked, Julie. You are correct. We have a gazillion Colonias left to explore. And yes, there will be more Friday Colonial walks. I'm just trying to... How do I explain this? We acquired a new camera, and I'm trying to streamline what we do to make certain features have specific characteristics. Let me explain, unless you're bored. I want to continue doing walking tours where I subtitle the comments and I bring them to you live here. That way, if you're looking for juicy comments, microphone. If you're looking for juicy comments, we can enjoy the walks with juicy comments here. If you want to do the walks without comments showing up on the screen and whatnot, then you can enjoy them on your own. We know we want to do that. And in fact, that would be the kind of Friday Colonial walks that we would do. But then when a new building opens, when, for example, the museum walk that we did the other day, that was really a walk around. When we went to Vallarta, to Arte Viviente, that would be a walk around. If somebody opens a new shop and we're curious about it, then that would be a walk around. So I just want to establish difference between walk around and a walking tour. I will tell you why later. Let's see. NIMBY is not in my backyard. Well, excuse me. I don't live in Acronym City, so I don't know your acronyms. NIMBY, that sounds like a lovely name for a pet, if you ask me. Kathleen had a nice experience at El Santuario del Taco, the taco sanctuary. Had our managers meeting yesterday at the new taco place you spoke of behind La Comer. Good birria tacos. They have been, they're crazy good. No, I've only enjoyed them during the daytime, but they're now posting videos of people dancing at the taco places. So apparently, they have live dancing at night. Who knew? Uh, okay, so I'm clearly not naming a pet nimby because the reference is not pretty. Uh, See, everybody knew about the nimbies except for me. Hardcore nimbies are also nopes. Not over there either. Okay, whatever. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh, more and more comments about people getting blocked and this, that, and the other. Fascinating. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's something that's happening everywhere. Um, Late to the show this morning today was Take Your Daughters to Work Day, and we were out for a morning constitutional. Lovely to see you, Logan. Um, and I have something for you that I crocheted last night, and I cannot talk about it because it's a surprise. But all I can say is it's witchy. When do I get to see you next, my friend? Let's see. Oh, Paula says, my husband and I slipped up one night not wearing a mask through a restaurant and both had COVID in 36 hours. Both tested positive. Bad head colds and not fevers last about a week. Wear your mask. Well, thank you very much for sharing that, Paula. We say it enough and we will continue to say it. Things are looking great here in Puerto Vallarta. Things are looking great here in the state of Jalisco. But the mandates that we already know continue to be in place. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. Logan shared a mouthful. Yesterday was very surreal as we checked in the very same group of guys that were here in the house 2 years ago this very same week. Good news is instead of going into lockdown together and being surrounded by uncertainty, we have 3 shots in us and we know what we need to do to take care of each other. It's hard to believe. It's been 2 years. It's hard to believe that 2 years ago, around this date, I was scratching my head in a panic, wondering what on earth am I going to do with work? How am I going to make an income? How am I going to make a living? And that's why we're approaching our 2nd year anniversary. And these dates also, rattle my cage or, make me feel like mindful of the fact that a lot has happened during the last 2 years. And here we are. So as Logan very correctly said, that's progress. So with that thought in mind, I think it's a good place to close down today's get together. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying part of the cluster, for joining in with your commentary, for supporting our pursuits. You make this community happen in more ways than one. And Luna and I are always grateful for that. So have a great day today. And hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow and Saturday. I can't wait to get together with Gina Hendricks. And if you haven't met her, she is an awesome gal. I'm looking forward not only to touring her new restaurant, but also getting to know more about what she's made of, because she's made such a successful enterprise with Whisky Kitchen. I am sure many other restaurants would want to know how it happened. Anyhow, enough of that. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. You're awesome.